She was merely a hotel housekeeper until a single phone call, delivered in perfect Dutch, turned her world upside down. A billionaire, passing by, froze when he overheard her. The following day, she was summoned to the main office. No warning, no explanation. From scrubbing floors to sitting face-to-face with the hotel's enigmatic owner, her life began to pivot in ways she couldn't have dreamed. But what was his true motive? Why her of all people? This isn't just a tale of fortune. It's about hidden truths, fresh starts, and a bond no one could have predicted. Are you ready to discover what happens next? The alarm's shrill cry cut through the quiet like a blade. 5 a.m. again. Sofia Alvarez fumbled for her battered clock radio, silencing it with a sluggish swipe. She stared at the fractured ceiling of her tiny Queens studio apartment, where shadows from the street lamp outside flickered across the peeling paint like uninvited spirits. She let out a heavy sigh. Just another day, another shot. Dragging herself to the bathroom, she faced the icy water, the hot line long broken. As the cold splashed her skin, she murmured the mantra her grandmother once taught her in Spanish, now translated to English, willing herself to believe it. One day at a time, one step forward. By 6:30 a.m., she was clocking in through the service entrance of the Atoria Grand Hotel, a prestigious five-star gem on Manhattan's Upper East Side. Her name tag read, Housekeeping Sofia. Today, she'd tackle the 5th floor, guest rooms, corridors, maybe the executive lounge or the breakfast buffet if they were short-handed. She was quick, meticulous, and unseen, exactly as they preferred. But Sofia was more than she appeared. She held a degree in foreign languages from Hunter College, graduating with honors, fluent in English, French, German, and, most recently, Dutch, a language she'd embraced after meeting a visiting professor from Amsterdam in her final year. They'd stayed in touch, and he'd guided her studies remotely ever since. Life, however, had other plans. Her mother's illness drained their savings, and after her passing, Sofia was left buried in debt. She took the first job she could find, cleaning at the Atoria Grand. Yet she never stopped learning. Every night after her shift, she rode the Q line to a Brooklyn public library, using free computers to practice Dutch grammar and vocabulary. This morning felt routine, until it wasn't. While dusting near the penthouse suite, she heard footsteps and instinctively lowered her eyes. 3 men in suits passed by, one standing out, tall, dark-haired with silver at his temples, clad in a tailored navy suit, no tie, radiating authority. Liam Carter, CEO of Carter Lux Holdings, the billionaire owner of the hotel. Staff whispered tales of his rags-to-riches climb, his perfectionism, his near-mythic silence in the halls. He barely glanced at her, or so she thought. Hours later, during her lunch break, Sofia sat alone in the staff lounge by the courtyard, warming rice and beans from a plastic container. Her phone buzzed, a message from Dr. Hans de Vries, her Dutch mentor. You passed your certification. Call me. Her heart raced. She dialed, and when he answered, she burst out in Dutch. Did I really pass? Not just passed, Sofia. You excelled. You're now certified at a professional fluency level in Dutch. Tears welled as she grinned. Years of early mornings and late library nights finally rewarded. She was still laughing in Dutch when the door creaked. She turned and froze. Liam Carter stood there, one eyebrow raised. I didn't mean to intrude, he said in English, stepping inside. Was that Dutch? Sofia scrambled to her feet, ending the call. Yes, sir. I'm so sorry. I was on break. It's fine, he said calmly. Where did you learn it? I studied languages in college, sir. It's my passion. She avoided his eyes, expecting a reprimand. Instead, he asked, What's your name? Sofia Alvarez. Sofia, he echoed, as if savoring the word, then nodded. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your lunch. And he was gone. Sophia sat, heart pounding, convincing herself it was nothing, a fleeting curiosity. The next day, her supervisor pulled her aside. Human Resources wants you now. Sophia's stomach dropped. HR? Was she in trouble? She knocked on the office door, and Ms. Margaret Hayes, the HR director, looked up. Come in, Sophia. Sit. Sophia gripped her hands in her lap. I received an unusual request this morning, Ms. Hayes began. Mr. Carter has asked that you be reassigned, effective immediately, to a new position. Sophia blinked. Reassigned. Assistant in International Guest Relations. You'll work with high-profile guests, particularly non-English speakers, handling translation, hospitality, and cultural coordination. Sophia was speechless. The role comes with a significant salary increase, Ms. Hayes added, roughly 3 times your current pay. Sophia's voice shook. Is this real? Ms. Hayes smiled faintly. Very real. Mr. Carter doesn't make impulsive choices. He says your talents are wasted where you are. You start today. He'd like to meet you in his office after lunch. As Sophia left HR, her head spinning, she passed the hallways she once mopped. Today, the chandeliers glow, the plush carpets, even the elevator's hum felt like a new realm she'd stumbled into, a world she never thought she'd claim. Her hand pressed against her chest, feeling her racing pulse. Why her? What had Liam Carter seen in a housekeeper speaking Dutch on her break? And what did he truly want? It was overwhelming, but a quiet voice inside whispered, "This is only the start." If you were Sophia, standing at the threshold of a life-altering opportunity offered by a cryptic billionaire, what would you do? Part 2. Sophia stood before the mirror in the staff changing room, no longer in her housekeeper's uniform, but in a fitted navy skirt, silk blouse, and soft leather heels, clothing that seemed tailored to her frame, as if someone had measured her soul. Her name tag now read International Guest Relations Associate. The surreal shift tightened her chest. 2 days ago, she was polishing marble in silence. Now, she was expected to interpret for diplomats and executives under the gaze of one of the hospitality industry's titans. As she approached the executive suite for her meeting with Liam Carter, her heels clicked in sync with her heartbeat. She passed opulent chandeliers and artwork she once dusted, noticing curious glances from guests and staff. A man even stepped aside for her, a first. Outside the suite, a bellhop opened the door. Inside, Liam stood by a panoramic window, phone in hand, staring at the skyline. When he saw her, his face softened, almost proud. "You look the part," he said, setting the phone down. "How does it feel?" Sophia hesitated. "Like I'm living someone else's life." Liam gave a quiet laugh, tinged with melancholy. "Maybe you're finally living yours." They sat on sleek leather chairs, and he poured 2 coffees, no staff, no pretense, just 2 people in a still room above the city. "Let me be clear," Liam said, his tone softer. "I created this role for you. I heard something, your voice in Dutch, that made me realize I've been missing talent by not truly seeing the people around me." Sophia's stomach fluttered. She wanted to trust him, but caution born of hardship held her back. Yet his eyes held a sincerity that kept her there. "I need your help," he continued. "This afternoon, Dutch investors are arriving to discuss our first European expansion. I need someone who understands language and people." "I've never done a negotiation like that," she admitted, fear rising. "I don't know the protocols. I could ruin it." "I'm not hiring you for protocols," Liam said. "I'm hiring you for empathy, for instinct. The rest we can teach. What you have can't be taught." His words silenced her doubts. She nodded, heart racing. "I'll do my best." That afternoon, in a glass-walled conference room overlooking the river, Sophia stood beside Liam as the Dutch investors arrived, tall, sharp-eyed men with firm handshakes and guarded smiles. She greeted them in fluent Dutch, and the room's tension eased. She translated with finesse, adjusting tones to bridge cultural gaps. When one investor posed a tricky question to Liam, Sophia stepped in, clarifying the cultural nuance before Liam could respond. The man smiled, nodded, a quiet win. By the meeting's end, Liam was radiant. "You saved the deal," he whispered as they left. "I owe you more than I can say." In the elevator, alone with him, Sophia exhaled. "I didn't think I could do it." "I knew you could," he said. "I saw it when I heard you speaking Dutch over lunch, like it was second nature." A heavy pause followed, then Liam spoke softly. "There's a place I go to think. Would you join me tonight? No pressure, just conversation." Sophia hesitated, her instinct to guard herself warring with a pull to say yes. She nodded before overthinking it. That evening, Liam drove them to a secluded rooftop garden on the city's edge, far from the glare of neon. The distant hum of traffic was the only sound, the stars faint but visible. A breeze stirred her hair. "Do you come here often?" she asked. "Only when I need to remember who I am," he said, "or figure out who I'm becoming." They sat on a bench, city lights sprawling below, sipping wine from paper cups. Liam shared his past, cleaning hotel rooms himself, building an empire at a cost he rarely admitted. "I've closed deals worth millions, but none felt like today, watching you work," he said. Sophia's eyes widened. "Why tell me this?" "Because this," he gestured between them, "might be the first real thing I've had in years." The words lingered, tender, charged. As she gazed at the city, something shifted. For the first time in years, she wasn't just surviving. She was seen, needed, perhaps even cherished. Weeks flew by in a whirlwind of meetings, negotiations, and late-night planning. Sophia was no longer the woman behind the cleaning cart, but Liam's trusted interpreter, advisor, and slowly, something more. She felt it in how others regarded her, how she carried herself, how the hotel became a world she belonged to, not just cleaned. Yet a quiet fear lingered. What if this vanished as swiftly as it appeared? That fear grew during their late-night talks, when conversations shifted from strategy to dreams, from work to wounds. Liam never pushed, never made her uneasy, and that made him more dangerous. His ability to see her as someone who mattered left her exposed in ways success never had. One evening, after a grueling day, he invited her to dinner at his home. She hesitated but agreed. The drive was quiet, heavy with unspoken questions. His house surprised her. Not a sterile mansion, but a warm, lived-in home with books, old photos, and a cedarwood scent. He cooked pasta himself, sleeves rolled up, ordinary yet intimate. Over dinner, barriers dissolved. They spoke as equals, sharing raw truths. Liam told her of his father, a janitor who dreamed of owning a hotel, a dream Liam fulfilled but never shared until now. Sophia spoke of her mother, the photos she kept by her mirror, how every step felt like a promise kept. After dinner, on the porch under a soft rain, Liam broke the silence. "I don't know when it happened," he said, eyes on the horizon, "but I stopped seeing you as someone I admire and started seeing you as someone I can't imagine life without." Sophia's breath caught. "Liam, this is real for me too," she said, voice trembling. "But I've fought to be taken seriously. If people find out, they'll say I'm here for the wrong reasons." "They'll say what they always say," Liam replied, "but we'll know the truth. If you walk away to protect what you've built, I'll respect it. But if you stay, I swear no one will question your worth. Not while I'm here." She saw not a mogul, but a man offering partnership, not just love. She took his hand. "I'm not walking away." The next morning, The hotel buzzed. The Emperor Group had sealed a massive European expansion deal, with Sophia's role lauded by investors. She was promoted to Director of International Strategy. But the real shock came when Liam, the famously private tycoon, introduced Sophia publicly as his partner in business and life. Gossip swirled, but it faded when, 6 months later, they cut the ribbon on their Amsterdam hotel. Sophia stood beside Liam, cameras flashing, now overseeing deals, mentoring teams, traveling continents. She'd changed, yet remained the same at her core. That evening, in their suite overlooking the canals, Liam held her close. "What are you thinking?" he asked. Tears in her eyes, Sophia said, "About everything it took to get here. How I nearly gave up before that one call. How love finds you when you least expect it." He smiled, and for a moment, it was just them. What made the biggest difference in Sophia's journey? Liam's belief, her own perseverance, or that fleeting moment of courage when she answered a call in Dutch? Did this story move you? Drop a 100 in the comments, share your country, and pass this story to someone who believes in dreams that bloom unexpectedly.